wanted to open the doors to the community, and we thought the best way to do that was to just break down a lot of the barriers that people face when accessing sport.
There exists many barriers to sports and squash in particular.
It started as squash at the mosque and took me actually just going down to one of the local mosques in an area called Park Ward and essentially just knocking on the door and saying, you know, would you be interested in learning more about the game of squash and getting the young people attending mosque playing squash? Make it as simple as possible. So not even asking them to come to a squash club, we just said we'll set up in the car park, we'll get the bounce back nets out, and we'll just get young people playing, and then we'll see how it goes.
The mosque is the centerpiece, and it's an important part for every Muslim to be connected to.
Before this course, I never really knew a lot about squash, but like over the last 6-7 weeks that we've been playing, I've definitely improved and I've got more passion for the sport, and I quite enjoy it now.
Yeah, I knew squash was like a sport. I just thought it was like a fancy sport, like polo or something. But yeah, now that I've like come here, I think it's really more, like much more fun than it seems.
To start with, I think the first session we had about 20 kids turn up, and then we decided as the weather turned, we'd bring it here to all Crosslands. Squash from the mosque coming to the club was quite a big step. You know, it was, I feel, really important for the club in that, you know, breaking down those barriers and getting people from the community through the door who wouldn't necessarily be playing at a club like this is, for me, the best way of enhancing any club.
We have young people now who are bringing their friends and relatives to extra sessions of squash. It's really given them access to a sport which they may not have had access to.
I love playing squash because like, not only does squash help you physically but mentally.
It's about looking on your doorstep, looking at your local community, the people that aren't getting access to sport, finding those people and building that relationship is, for me, is the most important part of making something like this work.